Hey, Thomas from Field Tennis. Today we're going to tackle grip pressure. It's one of the common questions I get from players. They're asking me how much would be grip pressure when hitting forehands, drop shots, serves, volleys and so on. So what we're going to do in today's video is I'm going to be hitting all these shots. I'm going to be playing, hitting volleys, backhand slice, everything. And I'm going to call out the grip pressure that I feel from 1 to 10. And I'll also give you a few of the tips based on my experience how to approach grip pressure. So let's get into it. So here are a few things you should be aware when it comes to grip pressure. First of all, most of the advice of the coaches is that you should grip the racket less tight than you normally do. So in most cases that's right. In most cases players do grip the racket too tight. And the problem with that is that it makes your whole arm tight. So when the hand muscles and the wrist muscles kind of squeeze the racket, this becomes very tight, and this tightness affects the whole arm, and that affects your swing and wrist leg. So when you have a very tight grip, you're not going to have a relaxed wrist in most cases, and you're lacking on the wrist leg, so that applies to all ground strokes. And also on the serve you're going to have a shallow drop. When you have a tight grip, you're going to have a shallow drop and most likely a waiter stray serve. So you're going to be losing on power and effortlessness, and because you have a tight arm, you're not going to be able to swing the racket nicely, and you're losing on another source of power and another source of effortlessness, which is swinging. So that's why we don't want a very tight grip. But here are some things to keep in mind. First of all, the grip level, the grip tightness depends on the skill level of the player. So we cannot ask, for example, a beginner to have a very loose grip because they will have no racket head control. Another way I can put it, a 3-0 player can never have such a loose grip as a 5-0 player, because a 5-0 player is much more skilled in movement, ball judgment, timing, rhythm, ball perception, hitting the ball in the center of the racket and so on. And because of those skills, they can have a much looser grip than a 3-0 level. So we cannot ask a 3-0 player to have the same loose grip as the 5-0 player. Now I'm using the word loose now because most of you are the most familiar with it, but you have to be very careful using the word loose, because you can misinterpret it. You can think of it in the wrong way, and you can think that the racket should be loose in the hand. So I'll come a bit closer that you see. So what's very important when you're hitting strokes, right now I'm just showing forehand, but it applies to all strokes, is that the racket handle and the hand always touch completely, so there should be no space. So if you think I want to have a loose grip and you do like this in the backswing in the preparation, you will have very poor control of the forehand. If you go like this and there's this hole that happens, and when you hit it comes back, or when you're doing the preparation and there's a little hole here and then you kind of grip the racket again, then the racket is too loose in your hand. So when you're thinking about using the word loosely, if someone says hold the racket loosely, that can trigger in your mind this idea that the racket is loose like this in the hand, and that's a big problem. So the racket must never be loose in the hand. So I would say more like that you hold the racket more lightly or gently, but not loose in this interpretation, right? So what you do want to have is you want to have a loose wrist. You need to have a loose wrist, but not a loose grip in a way that the racket is kind of dancing around your hand, flailing around kind of loosely like that. So that applies to any stroke, not just forehand. Very commonly this happens on the serve when players think I need to hold the racket very loose, and they go here, and when they come here, maybe from this angle, they come here and the racket kind of comes out a little bit of the hand here, because they think I want to have a loose grip, and this is a big problem. You will have no control of the serve if the racket handle starts to dance like this in your hand. So the hand and the racket handle need to be glued together, and there is absolutely never any movement of the racket handle in the hand while you play tennis. Once you change your grip or you hold your grip like continental ready for the serve, there should be absolutely no movement, no finger movement whatsoever. I'm not saying it's easy, but that's how it should be. So I'm just pointing this out that you don't misinterpret the word loose. So let's start with the forehand. Forehand is my better shot than backhand. And whenever you have like your favorite shot, usually related to your eye dominance, then you're holding the racket a little bit lighter because you perceive the ball better. So for me, that's forehand. So I'm gonna call out. Now I'm just gonna start warming up with my assistant Kaya. I'm gonna start warming up, so just like at the beginning, I'm gonna call out and I'll tell you the number from 1 to 10, what is my grip pressure. So obviously 1 being the lightest. And of course, never the racket loose in my hand, that it's kind of dancing in my hand. I hold the racket completely with my hand is completely glued to the handle, but I can hold the racket very, very gently. So I'm gonna give you a number in the preparation and through contact. So here is 2. This is a very nice ball, maybe just 3. I'm gonna call out just more forehands now. 2, 3. 2, my preparation is always 2 in most cases. 2, 4, 2, 4, 2, 6, because the ball skidded low, I had to control it. This one is about 4 to 5. This one's a bit higher one, 5. From 2 to 5, this one is trickier ball, 5 to 6. This one is a low ball. Whenever there's a low ball and I can release the racket down more into the swing, then I also squeeze the handle less. Kaya, can you give me there from the service line? You give me a very fast ball and aim to the baseline. So if I were to approach this forehand more like a return, it's like a very fast ball, and I'm returning, maybe I would get to 7. So I'm still always 2, I'm 2. So I'm just trying to save the ball, like it's very fast, I'm just pushing it back. I would say, yeah, like this, that's 6 to 7. That would be the tightest I would get when playing tennis. Also, if I'm returning a serve very fast, 6 to 7 for me would be the maximum. Normally I'm kind of around 4. Nice balls 3 to 4, trickier balls 4 to 5, maybe 6. Okay, backhand side. So again, my preparation is kind of 2. It's very nice. See, this one is very deep ball. I would call this 5. So I'm like, here I'm more times close to 5. I think backhand is normally more firm stroke, more firm grip, probably even for higher level. So I'm always 2 in the preparation. This one was nice. 3 to 4. This one I'm taking early. It's closer to 5. This one is 5. This one is 5. High ball, not comfortable. Medium ball, bouncing a little bit. It's a lot of sand here. This one is 3. When the ball comes very nice, I'm very loose. I can relax my wrist when the ball comes here. I can relax my wrist, it's comfortable. When the ball is coming here, I cannot relax my wrist so much. But keep in mind, I'm always preparing very comfortably. Never is my preparation firm. I'm always preparing, because when I have a gentle grip, the wrist is going to be loose and it's going to lag. And even on a fast ball, I need a bit of lag so that I can pop the ball like a trampoline, and then I can drive it more flat. So we try again. So even the ball's coming very fast, and I'm not hitting with spin, I'm just pushing it back. I'm a bit simulating like a return, like this. This one is a good shot. That's 6, kind of 6, 7 maybe, but never more, because otherwise you become so stiff that the stroke doesn't flow and the ball will not go over the net or land very short, and it's game over. So backhand slice. Let's see my preparation. Again, always 2. I hold the racket, it's not wobbly, it's not very firm, I don't need firmness here. Here backhand slice is more firm than you think usually. I would say typically like 4 to 5. To play slice with the grip 3 is gonna be a problem. To relax the wrist so much, I need to have a very nice ball. This one worked. But slice is used for control. Topspin doesn't work. There's no topspin, right? To bring the ball down, I can hit topspin shots, let's say a little bit more ugly, like aggressively, and spin is gonna bring the ball down. So I feel I can let go a bit more. I cannot really let go on a slice, it's just gonna float long. So it's a much more controlled shot. And because I control the movement more, I guide the ball more, I'm a little bit more firm. So I would say mostly I play 4 to 5, even nice ball. So like this is between 4 and 5. Preparation is nice. And then I'm normally somewhere between 4 and 5, same forehand slice, exactly the same principle. Slice shots are more firm. This is 4 to 5. I have good control of the slice. Yeah, I somewhere in 4 to 5. So don't think the slice is very loose. It's probably more firm than you think because you need to stabilize the racket head here through the ball. You don't want to do this, you don't want to do this. All that is wrist too loose. So the wrist is not very active here, it kind of stays in position. I go like this, and you can see that the wrist did not release. If the wrist released, then I would be like this. But I'm not, I hit a slice and I'm like this. So the wrist is quite firm, and also grip is a little bit more firm. Okay, let's start with the volley, and we're gonna start with the backhand volley. So here we go, I'm preparing 2, depends a little bit on the ball. I would say it's very similar to slice. I'm like somewhere at around 4, hitting these volleys, controlled volleys. This is very nice ball, Sky, just feeding from the basket. 4 to 5, depending on the ball, so nice ball. Here is 2. I'm just holding the racket. My preparations are always 2. This one's a bit more firm. Kaya, give me faster ball. So faster ball, I'm more stable. I don't move so much on the ball, so I have to be more stable. So I would say this is 5 to 6. Maybe 6. 6, sometimes 7. Let's say I go a bit closer. This is 7. I'm kind of going fast. You can see it's very firm here. So 7, very stable. If you give me a bit slower and lower, if I have to play more with feel, the ball is lower, I have to slice, I have to dig the ball out. This is more 4. I wouldn't say 3. I think 3, difficult. 3 would be a drop volley. Yeah. This drop volley is a 3. 2, 3. I cannot stay 2. It's a little bit too wobbly. Okay, half volley feel. So drop volley, 3. Forehand volley, similar story to the backhand volley. I don't think for me personally I have much difference. My preparation is always 2. I feel about 2 preparation. Now I'm just getting nice balls to the forehand volley. This is 4. I control, you see, I control the racket head, because if you're playing like a 3, this can be a little bit too loose here, not good control. You have to stabilize the racket but not be stiff, right? So you're looking for some kind of balance. So I would say 4 to 5, typical ball. This is 4 to 5, good control, precision, like I want the ball there. It's about 4 to 5. Again, faster ball, I'm a bit closer. If it comes faster, I'm more firm. Yes, 6, 7. 6, 7, very firm, you see. And lower ball that I want to dig out, back to 4. we go. Yeah, half volley, 4 to 5. So I need more feel, so I'm more like, see, I'm more like this. This is 4, 3, drop volley. Drop volley, too short, okay, same. Drop volley, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3. All right, smash. My grip pressure is gonna be 2 in the preparation, like always. So right now I'm just getting a nice ball. 4, always 2, 4, 4 to 5, tricky ball. So easy ball, this one is easier, coming nice to me, I don't have to move. I would say 3, I just squeeze a little bit. This one, difficult, see, I have to move back. I'm going up to 5 because I'm mostly doing pronation. This one is 3, so it's easy ball. I step forward, this is 3, this is medium, 4, it's firm. This one, trickier ball, I hit hard with pronation mostly, I cannot put my body in, 5 to 6. So I want to point you out to the one video I did about the loose wrist myth on the flat serve, and I recorded the serve in super slow motion so that you see that it's not the wrist hitting the ball like this, it's not going like this, but the wrist is very firm, and that we internally rotate the shoulder and we do pronation. So this is very firm here, and that's why the grip pressure at contact is 5, because I'm very firm here at contact. I mean not 10, but it's not loose at all, especially because I want to aim sometimes. So if I want to aim, I want to stay a little bit longer in the direction of the target, so it's not loose. If you have a loose grip on the smash, especially when you're moving backward, you will have very poor control of the racket head. Serve, I'm going to record a little bit from behind and from this angle so that you see how the ball flies, and I'm going to give you the numbers. So my backswing is 2, the grip pressure is 2, it's not 1. 1 is very close to releasing the handle and having it too loose, dancing around your wrist, your hand. I don't want to do that, I want to hold, but I have a very relaxed wrist. So I have a nice gentle grip, but completely relaxed wrist. So it might take you some time, it's a tricky thing to get for most people who relax the wrist completely, then they also relax the grip and the racket's flailing around here, and then they wonder why they don't have control. You need to hold the racket well, gently, well, hold the racket, learn to relax the wrist. I can do this with my wrist like this, it's lagging, flying around, and I have completely grip firm, slightly firm. There is absolutely no room. So if I go like this, I don't release the handle here. I hold the racket and I can completely relax the wrist, but not the grip. Okay, so here's the serve. I go flat serve, fast flat serve. So 2, 5, 6, 6. The harder I hit, the harder I grip the racket at contact, through contact. Why? Because we hit like this and not like this. I don't want to release my wrist. I'm doing internal shoulder rotation and pronation. And pronation is a very aggressive, violent move. It's not a loose wrist. Loose wrist is needed just before to help accelerate the racket, and then you push very hard. And the wrist is not loose. If the wrist was loose, it would make a bulge like this. If the wrist would make a bulge like this, you would injure your wrist in 1 week. Okay, so pronation, if I show you like this, it's a very firm, violent, aggressive stroke. I want to be loose here, and then I become very firm like this. So I do this the same on the ball. When I'm hitting flat, I'm very loose here, and then I'm very firm at contact. So I would say it goes up to 6. This one maybe 5, but definitely not very loose, because otherwise the racket is gonna fly around. So I go slice serve, it's gonna be something similar. So to slice, I would say a little bit looser. I'm not so firm at contact. 4 to 5. 2. Yeah, nice slice. I'm gonna leave it at this one. 4 to 5, not 3, not 2. Topspin serve is gonna be the same. 2, 4, 4 to 5. Again, not very loose wrist. Loose wrist here for the acceleration, here stability of contact. 4 to 5. So these are my numbers. These are the best approximations we can do like this long distance. If someone is with me on the lesson, then I would grab their hand and I would squeeze their hand, I mean their arm or forearm like this, to show them the pressure levels, right? So that's what I recommend coaches do if they want to kind of explain through feel what is the grip pressure. You just hold someone's forearm and you squeeze to the point that they feel the firmness of the grip. So these are my grip pressures. Let me know what are yours, or if you learned something in the comments below. If maybe you thought it's looser, or maybe you think it's more tight, or you think that it should be as loose as possible. Let me know what you think, and we're gonna have a little discussion below. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.